Now that has come out really well, very happy with that. On the negative side, the top yoke has come out shit. The finish on that is diabolical, so we're going to have to rub that down and paint it when it's dry. Now the weather forecast says it's not going to rain today, so I've got all my bikes out and it's starting to rain. Of course it is. Anyway, plonk that on there. Today's rant, whinge, moan, call it whatever you like, is about eBay and the greedy bastards on eBay. Obviously I've been looking for parts for this, and you all know I'm as tight as a gnat's chuff, so I don't like paying for things, but it gets ridiculous. I mean, there's a starter motor on there for 40 quid, that's not too bad. I'll probably end up having that. I'm going to get this one off first, see if I can repair it. But example, there's a guy on there selling a cush rubber, a used cush rubber for the back of this. Now I don't particularly need one, or I don't think I do, I've not checked, but I just happened to spot it. £19 second hand cush rubber on eBay. Go on Wiimoto, and yes, agreed, it's a pattern part, so you know, whatever, but 7 quid, brand spanking new pattern part, 7 quid, and the greedy bastards on eBay 19 quid for a used one. Another example, there's 2 or 3 guys out there on eBay selling a swing arm, 40 quid, not too bad, yeah, a bit high, but 40 quid, yeah, between 25 and 40 most of them. There's quite a few on there. There's one guy on there, he wants £137 for a second hand swing arm. Now if you were desperate for one and he was the only bloke that had one, you might reluctantly pay that. But did he do any research? Because there's dozens of them on there for between 25 and 40 quid, and this fuckwit is asking 137. And my point is that, guys, this is a 125. It's going to be run by young lads, probably haven't got a lot of money, running it on a budget, and they're just not going to be able to maintain it because of these greedy bastards. And they're going to end up scrapping it, or not repairing it, or bodging it. And it's, you know, it's anyway, rant over. I might leave that in, I might not. Anyway, it's starting to rain, as I said, but I'm hoping it's just a few spits, and we're going to be okay. Now, second rant is Kawasaki. Kawasaki, you are fuckwits. Because I've got to get that starter motor off. Okay? Dead easy. 2 little bolts down here, and then it slides back this way and you pull it out. Simple as. Only there's an oil feed pipe there that stops it sliding back. I can disconnect it here and here, but then the third one disappears into the engine, so I think I mentioned it yesterday. Also got to remove this air injection valve because that's in the way as well. Why couldn't they just design that slightly different so you could just undo the bolts and slide the starter off? Anyway, I'm going to get that off, and then we'll test it off the bike, see if it's still shorted, and if it is, which I fully expect it to be, we'll open it up and see if there's anything we can do. Okie dokie. Right, this is the offending article, the starter motor. It feels a bit scrapey, to be honest, when you turn it. But the first thing I want to know is it still shorted off the bike? So, round, don't matter which way you go round actually, because it's just continuity test. And as you can see, that's shorted to the case. Now I did Google this, and one guy, he's American, so we've got to forgive him for that, but he said it should be shorted. But no way. No way should the ground be shorted to live. Anyway, unless you know different. Like I said, my knowledge of electrics are pretty much on a similar line to what my wife's knowledge of quantum physics are. So let's get this bad boy apart. What size is that fucker? £7mm. Anyway, right, what I did say is I would reveal what I paid for this bike. And I'm going to reveal what I paid for the bike. £275. That's what I paid for it. Now, I don't think that was expensive. Given what I now know about it, though, I don't think it was an absolute fucking bargain either. But hey, you know, it's mine now. I bought it sight unseen. Not sight unseen. I had seen it, but I bought it as is, warts and all. So I'm not unhappy. So what's behind door number 3? I'm filming this, A, so you guys can see it, B, because I shall probably have no idea how to put the fucking thing back together again if I don't film it. Now look, these are insulating washers. Now obviously they are designed to insulate this from the case. So no, it should not be shorted to the case. So what that American chap talking at the top of his fucking head, I think. So right. So we've got a fibre and some sort of shim. Then out she comes, and there's another shim on the back of that. I'm talking to me in the future, putting this back together. She looks a little bit worn there. Bear in mind this bike's done 32,000 miles. Now for a 125, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. Right, how does one get it apart from this point on? Obviously a hammer. If in doubt, hit it with a hammer. Now I'm sure there's some sort of test I can perform to see if this thing's shorted. It's all fully sealed up and I don't know what to do or how to do it, so just in case anyone's saying why don't you test that. But how this comes apart I don't know. There's no more screws or anything on it, so should we get a... oh hang on, it's coming. Hey, look at that. There's obviously been water in there. Now this plate here, they sell them at Waymoto. I think they're quite expensive, at 17 quid, but oh dear. Oh my good grief. The brushes, I've just seen it, I'll show you in a minute. They are worn to fuck. Absolutely worn to fuck all. So good grief. How do I get that out? A little screwdriver. I wonder, let's just, where's my tester? Let's just get this continuity again between this plate, which carries the brushes, and that. No, there's no continuity there. Okay. Right, look at these brushes, guys. They are, I think the technical term is fucked. So here is my theory now. Those brushes are so worn that they've come into contact with this, and then this. Oh, hang on though. Right. Do you know what? I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. I don't, seriously, I don't know enough to know what I'm talking about. But now here's my dilemma. Do I pay 17 quid for one of them on the assumption that that's the problem, and then this all works afterwards? Or do I just spunk 40 quid on a second hand one, which the guy says works, but who knows what condition the brushes are in. So yeah, that in my opinion is the problem. So how does one, can I just buy new brushes instead of buying the whole sort of plate assembly? I'm going to go and do some research. Right, I've just gone online and had a look. You can get the brushes separately, £6.50, but they're not soldered onto that bolt. They're just like loose wires, and I don't really want to be fuck-arsing about with soldering. You can buy this entire plate from Wiimoto for £17.50. That's what I'm leaning towards at the minute. But the thing that's bugging me a little bit is, I mean, these I've disconnected that spring, as you can see, and that brush, which should be spring loaded, is seized solid. I can't move it. However, what's bothering me is that there's continuity between that post and that brush, which there should be there, but because it's shorting out to the case, I would have expected it to be shorting out to this, and it isn't. So am I wasting £17.50? Is this faulty? I mean, I don't really know what continuity test I can do on that. I mean, it's not shorting between that and that. So yeah, anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to gamble £17.50. The guy's just offered me the starter on eBay for 35 quid plus 6 quid postage, so 41 quid for a second hand starter, or I could fix this one up. But I mean, there's clearly something wrong, because those brushes, they should be spring loaded, and then the spring loaded presses against that as that spins. So clearly that is faulty, but I'm just a bit bothered that I'm not getting that short, which I was expecting to get. So anyway, I'm going to go and get that ordered. What have I taken on here? Everything with this bike is a battle. Everything. Right. Prime that though. That went well. I've just had to take the carb off. The reason I'll tell you in a minute why I took that off. I had to set the airbox to get the carb, and that's just taken me probably an hour to wrestle that out. It was it was one of them. It would have come out easier if I'd have been able to take this front cover off. In fact, that's how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to take this cover off and then slip it out this side. You can see all them marks there where I've been jemmying at it with a fucking screwdriver. There's nothing else I could do. All of those are seized. Every one of them. I can't shift any of them. That one's worn to fuck. Every nut and bolt on this bike is seized, to be honest. So they've all got to be drilled out. That may in turn destroy the airbox, which means I may have to get another one. The carb, the reason I've took it off, I couldn't turn the throttle. The throttle was locked solid. Now I've took the carb off. Now the cables on that are absolutely free, because this is absolutely seized. There is nothing on this that moves. So that had to come off. To get that off, that had to come off. That was a cunt. That's going to be a cunt. Whole bike's a cunt. Cunt! It'd be boring if everything went easy though, wouldn't it? So, do I want to do any more today? I may take that carb apart. Let me have a little sit down, 5 minutes, and we'll see which way we're going. Carburetor time. Funnily enough, the slide seems to be fine. So I may or may not bother taking that diaphragm cover off. This throttle linkage, however, does not move at all. It is absolutely solid. So let's give it a liberal dousing of Lidl knockoff WD-40. Told you I was cheap. Right. Are you going to move? Are you buggery? That is absolutely solid. Nothing's moving that. I've never seen one that bad. It moved a little bit. Let's whip the bowl off. Let's not whip the bowl off. No. I wonder what a carb's going to be. What if you get a Chinese knockoff? Oh, that one's okay. Well, I've got one shifting. The trouble is with spraying it with any sort of penetrant or lubricant or anything, is that it, you know, if it's locked up, it ain't going to get in the threads anyway. So I wonder if I can get some little mouldies on that. I've got big humongous ones, but I don't know if I'm going to get these on. Did that break it? Yes, it did indeed. So 1, 2, 2 out of 2. No, that one's... And that one's recessed in. I don't think I'm going to be able to get hold of anything on that. Not even room to get a Dremel in to cut a slot in it. Oh, that one might have gone. 3 for 3. And the one I can't get at is that one. Oh, no, I've got that one. It's that one then. That's the one that's being a bar steward. Oh no. think there's much hope of getting hold of that either. Right, I'm going to clamp it in the vise and see if that helps. I'll be back in a sec. Indeed it did. We've got all three of them moving. So let's see what 6 or 7 years of sitting in somebody's back garden has done for the carburetor. It most definitely is not economically viable to fix this bike. Sensible thing to do would be to part it out, but I don't want to do that. I want to try and get it going. I want to try and put it on the road again. That might cost more than it's worth, but ooh, a bit of sludge in there, but that's actually surprisingly good. I think, to be honest with you, if we can get the choke freed up, she may well go again. Right, right, how can we get a socket on that? What size is that? 12? Of course it is. See if we can. Well, it's not turned, but it's undone. I'll do. We'll undo it. Might be able to get some lube behind it. Oh. What was that? She's well locked up. I'm not going to strip this carb on camera. It's boring. If you want to see someone strip a carb, there's thousands of videos out on YouTube. Go and watch one of them. But it's fun watching me wrestle with a seized up carb. Oh, it's turned. Yes! She turned. Mind you, I might be galling up the threads a little. Right, she's turning nicely now. Not nicely, still stiff as fuck, but it is turning. That's supposed to spring back by itself. Okay, right. For you guys, that's it. I'm going to work that backwards and forwards a little bit, pull all the jets out, give it a bit of a clean, get it back together, and we'll get that back on. I did order that part for the starter motor from Wiimoto. I'm waiting for that to come. I've ordered a battery as well from Tainar batteries. Cheapest one they do, because I'm cheap. So hopefully clean this carb out, get that battery back when Tainar deliver it, which will be tomorrow, and a few days for the starter motor part. But I'm back at work in a day or two for 4 days, and then we'll come back and do you think she'll go? Who knows? Anyway, for time being guys, I'm done. We'll catch you on the next one.